sometimes you want to add a border or shading to text to also make it stand out. And that's what we're going to do with this tab section that we have in our document. Once again, because our text is typed, we need to highlight our information. And when you want to put a border on something, you're going to come to this paragraph grouping, and you have this drop down arrow. You can put in a bottom border, a top border, left or right. You could do all of them. You could do no border, or you could just do outside borders. You could do just inside borders, inside horizontal borders, or inside vertical borders. There's all different kinds of things that you can do there. You can also come down to where you see this button that says borders and shading, and you have more options when you go into this dialog box than just that pull down menu. So if I wanted it to have some kind of design of a border, let's say I want it to be a double border, and I want it to be thicker than what it is, then as I select these things, you can see that it's changing. Well, let's say I want my border to be a dark purple. Now I've got my setting for my border, so I can click OK, and you can see the border. Okay. The next thing that you might want to do is put some shading in there with your text. So we're going to go back to this button, and we're going to go to Borders and Shading, and we have this Shading tab, and let's say we want to put in a very light purple as our shading color. When we click OK, we now have this all shaded. But you can notice that it's sticking out further than what you really would want it to do. So your margin markers up here on your ruler line, if you pull those in, let's say we want to pull them in a 1/2 inch on both sides. If you pull those in a 1/2 inch on both sides, then that reduces some of that. Now I'm actually going to pull this one in a little bit further. That actually reduces the amount of extra space you have outside of your tabbed area. But that's the way that you could do borders and shading with an area in your table.